Hello everyone, and welcome to my BTG official channel. Andre and Dani, once the power couple everyone admired, appeared to have it all: a luxurious home, successful businesses, and a lifestyle that screamed stability and success. But beneath the polished smiles and social media highlights, their marriage had been crumbling for years. The tension started subtly, like small cracks in glass, ignored at first, until they deepened into fractures that could no longer be repaired. Andre's decision to file for divorce was supposed to bring him peace, a new beginning, a release from the chaos that had consumed their home. What he didn't anticipate was how quickly that decision would unravel every part of his financial world, and how the woman he once loved would become the storm that swallowed his fortune whole. Andre had built his empire with Dani by his side. Together, they had launched a boutique real estate firm that turned modest profits into millions. Dani was the face, charming, persuasive, magnetic, while Andre was the strategist, the quiet thinker behind every deal. Their dynamic worked beautifully at first. She could sell a mansion with just a smile, he could negotiate contracts that saved them hundreds of thousands. But as success grew, so did their egos. Dani began craving more recognition, more independence, and eventually, more control. Andre, ever the perfectionist, tightened his grip, insisting every major decision pass through him first. It was only a matter of time before their love turned into competition, and competition into resentment. The first signs of financial strain came not from poor investments, but from pride. Dani insisted on expanding their business into luxury developments before they were ready. Andre warned her that it was too soon, that they should stabilize their assets first, but she called him controlling, insecure, afraid of her success. To prove her wrong, Andre gave in. They borrowed millions from private investors, betting on a new high-end property in the city's most expensive district. For a while, it looked promising, the marketing buzz was huge, and buyers lined up. But then, construction delays hit, costs soared, and the market dipped unexpectedly. What was meant to be their golden opportunity turned into a bottomless pit of debt. By the time Andre filed for divorce, they were already bleeding money. Dani blamed him for the failure, claiming his lack of vision ruined everything. Andre countered that her recklessness had destroyed their financial foundation. The fights were brutal, not just emotional but deeply strategic. Dani hired one of the most cutthroat divorce attorneys in the city, the kind who could turn even the cleanest businessman into a villain in court. And she did. She painted Andre as manipulative, controlling, and emotionally abusive, demanding half of everything they owned, including his personal assets and shares in the company he built long before they married. Suddenly, Andre found himself cornered. Every dollar he'd worked for was under scrutiny. His accounts were frozen, his credit was damaged, and the company's board began questioning his leadership as rumors of his personal instability spread. Business partners pulled away, unsure if associating with him was worth the scandal. Dani, meanwhile, leveraged her social connections to portray herself as the wronged wife, the victim of a heartless man who abandoned her after using her charm to build his empire. Sympathy flooded in her direction, and investors began aligning with her. The tables had turned completely. Andre tried to reason with her privately, offering generous settlements and trying to avoid the humiliation of a public battle. But Dani wasn't interested in peace, she wanted victory. She wanted to watch him lose everything, the way she felt he had made her lose her dignity. The court proceedings dragged on for months, each hearing chipping away at Andre's confidence and wealth. The legal fees alone were astronomical. His once profitable firm was now struggling to stay afloat as both sides drained company funds to fuel their war. Then came the real blow, the media exposure. Someone leaked details of their divorce filings to a popular gossip outlet. Overnight, Andre became tabloid fodder. Stories painted him as a ruthless businessman who cheated on his wife, manipulated finances, and hid assets offshore. None of it was proven, but in the court of public opinion, perception is everything. Clients pulled out, sponsors backed away, and even employees started resigning, not wanting to be part of a company tainted by scandal. Dani denied leaking anything, of course, but everyone close to Andre knew she had orchestrated it perfectly. Every headline tightened the noose. The financial spiral accelerated from there. Andre was forced to liquidate properties to pay off joint debts and cover court-ordered expenses. The once expansive mansion they shared, a symbol of their success, had to be sold below market value just to cover attorney fees. The luxury cars, the art collection, the vacation homes, all gone, piece by piece. Each sale felt like another wound. He wasn't just losing assets, he was watching his life's work evaporate in front of him. What hurt most wasn't the money, but the betrayal. Dani, the woman he had loved, the partner he once trusted completely, seemed to take pleasure in every downfall he faced. But Dani's victory came at a cost, too. In her obsession to ruin Andre, she had overplayed her hand. When the divorce finally settled, she won a significant portion of his remaining assets, but those assets were already tied up in debt. The business they once ran together was collapsing under the weight of lawsuits, unpaid contractors, and reputation damage. Within a year, her new ventures failed, and the lavish lifestyle she flaunted on social media began to crumble. She had won the battle, but lost the war. For Andre, recovery was slow and painful. The divorce left him nearly bankrupt, emotionally drained, and socially isolated. Friends he thought he could count on vanished. Even family members grew distant, tired of the drama. There were nights when Andre sat alone in his small rented apartment, staring at the walls, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. How could love, something once so pure, turn into a weapon powerful enough to destroy two lives completely? The answer, he realized, wasn't simple. It wasn't just greed or pride, it was a lack of forgiveness, a refusal to let go when things began to fall apart. He had fought to prove himself right instead of fighting for peace. Yet, out of the wreckage, something unexpected began to happen. Andre started over, quietly. He rebuilt his name, one client at a time. He learned to live modestly, to appreciate small victories. The humility that came from losing everything became his greatest teacher. He began mentoring young entrepreneurs, warning them of the dangers of mixing love and business without boundaries. He often said, "Don't build your empire on emotions, build it on wisdom." It became his new mantra, his redemption story. Slowly, investors who once abandoned him returned, drawn to his honesty and resilience. Meanwhile, Dani's public image began to fade. Without Andre's strategic mind, her projects lacked structure. The same media that once idolized her turned on her when her ventures failed. Financial pressures mounted, and she was forced to downsize drastically. For the first time, she faced what Andre had endured, the isolation, the judgment, the endless scrutiny. Karma, some said, had come full circle. Others saw it as poetic justice. But